Everybody, it's Big Game James, man. I'm back in the house. You know, I'm doing my high school thing. You know, we started back in 2016 and we were going to grind. We got a little bit away with them because we was doing the Cowboys thing. But you know what? That passion kept bringing me back and bringing me back. So now we're back in the building doing our thing. So it's Generation Next. We are talking to the next who's who. And man, I got a kid that y'all really need to know about. I actually saw him on accident, and then I looked at some publications. This dude was first team All State as a freshman. I thought it was fake. So I had to go in there and look at it, and it really was. So without further ado, let me introduce. Matter of fact, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Who are you, and what's your height, weight, and let's tell you a little bit about yourself.
What up, y'all? I'm Jeremy. I'm a running back and a kick returner from Lewisburg High School. I'm 5'9", 165, and I'm a freshman. I was all stage freshman, as y'all heard, which was a huge blessing. I just had that mindset that I gotta put in more work than anybody else every single day.
All right, now that's pretty amazing, bro. Like I said, you know, when I first saw that, I thought it was a misprint. To get first team All State as a freshman. Now, let me ask you something. You first team All State as a freshman. Where do you go from here? You've already hit the apex already, and you still got 3 years to go. Where do you feel like, okay, I've hit this? Where are my goals from here?
I mean, All State as a sophomore is next for sure. That's a definite. That's something that I need to have next year. I need to capitalize off this last season and be better next year. All American. I like that. That's my goal. To be honest with you. I gotta keep working to get to that. But I know it's possible if I put in the work.
Well, I mean, you already got a good start already. So let me ask you something, man. Has football always been a passion for you? Has it been something that you loved growing up? And who was kind of an influence on you as you were growing up in your youth as you are right now? Who's kind of a major influence you to kind of make you what you are right now?
Yeah, I mean, football has always been my thing. All my uncles, my father, all play football at the D1 level, so I definitely learned from them and learned to love the game from them. My father passed away when I was 10, so I definitely played with a chip on my shoulder for him, and that's kind of what drives me on the field, is to play for him.
That's what's up, man. I know a little bit about that. My father passed away 10 years ago, so I definitely understand that. But that's big that you're fighting and playing for your father. Now, you said what school? What's the name of your school, and what's the state that you are in currently right now?
I got a Lewisburg area high school, which is in Pennsylvania.
Okay, now, first of all, Pennsylvania is known for a hotbed in football. I mean, when you see a lot of great players, pro players, college players, they've come out of the state of Pennsylvania. Do you know about that history that Pennsylvania really brings about the football side of it?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like down in the Pittsburgh area, in the Philly area, football is definitely a huge thing. And even just like 25, 30 minutes down the road from me, it's Southern Columbia. It's like produced like some top tier athletes in the past couple years, most definitely.
So, can you tell me what your team's record was last year?
Last year my team went 6-4. We had a bit of a rougher season. We were trying to get younger kids in. And we definitely had some mistakes in the game season. We made dumb mistakes, then we went and won the last 5 games in a row. So by the end, we definitely got it figured out, and we know we're going to come out this next year and just blow everyone out the water.
Now, you said your position was running back. Now, when I seen your tape, you did a lot of kick returning. Now, going forward, what is your position that you say you really love? I know they got you at running back. Is that your first love, or are you kind of like, hey, I'm pretty versatile. I can play whatever. You know, I don't really have a position I really love. I can do whatever they need me to do. Or do you have one position that you said I really honed in on the position? I want to be great at this.
I mean, I'm just kind of an athlete. Like, I'll play any position as long as it's the best on my team and we're on the best fit for the team my team wants to play. As for this next year, I'm mainly going to be a running back. I'll be the undisputed starting running back, which means I'll be getting a ton of carries and stuff, which might lessen my kickoff returns, but I'm definitely still going to be kickoff returning. But I would say, yeah, running back has always been my first love, but I'll play anywhere I need to play.
Okay. And you know, the good thing about it right now, as a young kid, you already got some good size. So I can see you still growing into that position and
Yeah,
being great at it. Now, you do know that going forward, the running back is devalued now. You know, in college, you know, running backs get carries, but in the pros, it's like kind of devalue that position. Now, I know the NFL is a long way away. We don't know if you would ever make it, but is that something that you would keep in the back of your head that, hey, NFL doesn't talk about running backs like that no more, so maybe I should look at a different change? Or are you saying, you know what, I'm gonna be a running back and I'm just gonna make this thing great, and that's what you know what they'll want to draft me at if that were a possibility?
yeah. I mean, for sure, if that be a possibility, first of all, that'd be such a great opportunity. I feel like I would definitely keep that in the back of my head that running backs aren't appreciated as much, but I know that if I play in the work and I'm just the best at where I want to be, and I can succeed at that. So that's definitely the thought that's in my head with that.
Now, have you thought about any colleges? I know it's a little farther away, and I understand that, but have you had any schools that maybe even sent you letters? I mean, your first team all state. Have you got any interest already from some schools?
Yeah, I mean, I get emails every single day. I get letters sent to my school. I get letters sent to my mailbox and stuff. I'm getting a lot of interest. I go to Lewisburg, which is where Bucknell is. It's a college. It's a Division I football team and stuff. So I've gotten a ton of interest from them. And then other colleges, a couple D1. If I had a dream college, it'd be East Carolina. That's always just been a dream there. It's just I love the atmosphere there. And it would definitely just be a great place to play at.
Well, you know, that's funny that you said East Carolina because I actually have a kid that used to play for me in youth football, and he's their safety now. I don't know if he's starting. His name is Julius Wood. Look him up. He's a safety from Columbus, Ohio. He got signed out of a Miami of Ohio, but it had a little lost his way a little bit. And then he went to Blaine College for a year, junior college, tore up, and then he's at East Carolina now. He's a redshirt sophomore. And I feel like, you know what, if they really give him some tick, he got a little bit of playing time last year. If they really give him some tick, I definitely think he can make the league because, I mean, when he was playing for me, we were all like, man, he was playing receiver for us. But when I looked at him, I'm like, nah, you need to switch to defense. You need to go to a safety. You're 6'2". You're about almost, you look like you'll grow into that position. There's a lot of receivers that are 6'2", 6'3", you feel me? But if you
Yeah,
switch and went to the other side of the football and you're playing 6'2" as a safety or a corner, you'll be a hot commodity. He ended up
yeah,
switching, he went to safety, and that's kind of his spot right now. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do at East Carolina, and that's just kind of a nice thing that you said that'd be one of your school. And it's kind of weird because I would never think a kid would jump out and say East Carolina, for real, for
I
real.
know, for real. People always look at me crazy when I say that, but like that's always just been a dream, for real.
That's dope though, because you know what? I could see you going there and turning all the way up. Not just because, I mean, it's on a smaller level, but you get what
Yeah,
I'm saying. East Carolina, I mean, it's not a school where you sit there and say, oh, that school is sorry. No, East Carolina is a legit school. You know what I mean? So I would love to see you eventually make that happen. Now, going into you're going to be a sophomore now, correct?
yeah.
All right. So you said you have somebody ahead of you right now.
Nah, so I split carries with a senior.
Okay.
One senior, he's a really good athlete. But he graduated, so like I'll be the undisputed starter for sure. Right?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, so you about to turn up. You got 3 years left. Oh, you about to go crazy, big dog. So have you ever thought of like a 2,000-yard season? Has that popped in your head?
I mean, the sky's the limit is what popped up in my head, man. I mean, I feel like honestly, I have the mindset that anything that I put in the work for, I can achieve. So like, I definitely feel like anything's possible.
Now, have you been going to any camps?
Oh, I have tons of camps lined up. Last year, I went to multiple Penn State camps.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Kutztown camp. I went to a camp in Jacksonville. I've been to a bunch, and then this year I have even more lined up. There's like 2 elite something camps at Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to the Kutztown camp again. And then I have a bunch lined up because that's like the best place to prove who you are because coaches are like everywhere there.
I mean, for real, you know, like I know. I mean, you cannot be great at your school and turn up and go great at a camp, and a coach will offer you a scholarship right there. I mean, that's how it really is. I mean, if you got the talent, they'll offer you right there, or they'll keep put you on the who's who monitor. Now, is football like the only sport you play? Is there any other sport that you play besides football? Or is this the main sport that you concentrate on solely?
I definitely concentrate on football for sure. I run track. I've always been pretty fast. So that's definitely something that I do. I've wrestled in the past. And I've had thoughts about getting back into that because it definitely helps with football. So that could be something in my future for sure.
I definitely think you should look into both of those things because number one, track and football go hand in hand to me. And also, I've seen a lot of players. I had a guy that I interviewed with the Dallas Cowboys, and he was actually a wrestler, and he plays a defensive tackle. And I'm just telling you, I feel like your game is a step above if you're doing wrestling and then you get on that football field because it's a totally different animal. And I feel like leverage, hand placement, those type of things going to give you the edge over other players, especially when you are wrestling, because a lot of players or kids don't know about those type of techniques. So in my opinion, if you're able to do it without killing yourself, because I know how much you dedicate on that football side, please get back in that track and try to wrestle too, because that's only going to make you better. I already
Yeah.
see that you got the cuts and everything. You ain't no little dude. You already got the cuts. But man, if you get on that right there, especially, I think that's really going to enhance your marketability as far as a player, and it's just going to make you a better player all the way around. All right, so what's your team goals this year? What's something that you're looking some goals that you're looking for your team, and maybe championships, maybe league? What's you kind of looking at this year?
I mean, in my opinion, I don't see why we couldn't honestly win the district championship. I feel like we have been putting in work since a week after the season ended. Every single day, we got so many people coming out. We got upcoming freshmen putting in work every day. Just earlier, I was with three upcoming freshmen running routes for like 3 hours. You know, we're all willing to put in the work, and I feel like it's definitely going to pay off when we start our season.
Okay. Now, what's some individual goals that you have for yourself for this year?
I feel like as I said before, all state is definitely a definite. That's a huge goal for me. To be able to have again, to be able to do it twice is something that in my mind that I want to be able to do. I want to be able to get it 4 times in a row. So that's definite. At least 1,000 yards as a running back, at least. I'm starting small with that, just because I know that once I get it, like I'll go wherever I need to go from
Right.
there.
Right.
Now I'm thinking like 15 plus touchdowns on the ground for sure.
Okay. I like those goals. And now also you said 1,000 yards of 15 touchdowns. I wanted to ask, there was something that just it was just literally in my head and it just slipped out. All right, so the competition that you play in Pennsylvania, I mean, like I said, the schools out there are pretty tough. The
Yeah.
league you playing is pretty tough. Actually, give me that league because I want the people to know about what the league that you play in. So when they listen to this interview, they can say, "Oh, I want to go look at this kid because he plays for this team, he plays in this league, and this is what I can specifically look for."
So I play in the Harlan League, um, in the 4A division, which is where we recently moved up. We were in 3A, but we moved up to 4A. So,
Hmm.
4A division of the Harlan Football League, Pennsylvania. It's definitely a tough league for sure. We have multiple D1 recruits coming out, especially Southern Columbia. We play
Hmm.
this year. I've had so many big names. Julian Fleming went to Ohio State. Derek Burles just committed to West Virginia. Um, what's his name? Brandon Waslowski. He's a junior. He just picked up 10 offers in the last week or so. So we
Hmm.
definitely have competition. Um, and we're definitely a team that competes and can keep right up with them.
Does that get you excited knowing that you're playing against some of these other top players, Division One, possible Division One recruits? Does that make you, when you know that, hey, we're playing this team and they probably got 3 or 4 top recruits or D1 guys? Do you circle that and say, hey, this is a game I really want to turn up. This is a game I really want to show these guys that I belong with them. Does that ever go into your mind when you're playing these other teams?
Absolutely. I mean, like I like those games better than teams I know we're gonna smack.
Hmm.
I like those games because I can just prove to everyone that I can compete with the best out there. So those games I like even better than the nobody teams we play because I know that in those games we really can prove who we are and we can prove that we can handle the best.
Exactly. So you said you wanted to be first team all state all 4 years. You know what I say? I say let's get player of the year one of those years. You feel me? That's what we definitely need to get. And then what we want to do is we want to be able to go back and look at this because this is what I told a couple other kids that I interviewed. We're not just going to have this one interview. This is kind of like the beginning one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to interview again like mid-season and then we're going to interview after season. So we can see the trajectory of how you kind of started and then how you had it in the middle and then how you had it in the end, so people can say, hey, this is week 5, we got Jeremiah back on, he already got 1,300 yards. Remember we was talking about how he was going to get 1,000 yards? He already got 5 games, he already got 1,300 yards. You feel me? That's what we want to be able to talk about, because I'm telling you, I'm not hyping the show or anything like that, but we got a really good following over here on my channel. And like I said, we want to open doors. Now we already see that you're already getting open doors because of the athlete you are and what you've already brought to the table. But we still want to continue to bring out things for you so opportunities can manifest themselves for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So let me ask you a few other questions before I get you off of here. Now, you said Eastern Carolina is like East Carolina, it will be one of your top teams. Give me, if you had like a top 5 universities that you would say, these top 5, if you have them in your head, that I would love to really look at and go to or possibly be a student athlete at?
For sure. My number 1 would definitely be East Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
My number 2 is Florida State for sure.
Mm-hmm.
My number 3 is Georgia. My number 4 is West Virginia, and then my number 5 would probably be Rutgers.
Okay, that's a nice little list. I like that list. I like the schools. Now,
Yeah.
so it's, when I'm listening to you though, it looks like you like going. You want to go out of state. You don't want to stay at home.
Oh nah. I definitely want to take my college years to explore something different for sure. Yeah.
So how's your mother feel about that? Your mom don't want you to stay at home?
I mean, like you would think she would want that, but like I mean, she's on the same boat with me with like just wanting to explore things for sure.
That's good, because moms like to travel too. They want to say, "That's my boy." They like going to them. Or they like going to them traveling. Hey, Dico, my boy. Yeah, that's who he play for. They moms be doing all that good stuff. You feel me? Now,
Yeah, for sure.
we talking about on the field. It's you, from what we've seen and what we heard, and we're going to show your videos on my channel. We're going to show you highlights. How those grades looking over there?
Oh, I mean, that's from day one, since before I even played up a football. That's been the most important thing. My grandpa, every single time he sees me, he comes to me and said, "What's first?" I have to say school first. So that's definitely a huge thing. I definitely stay on top of that for sure. Um, I'll make sure that I'm a good student, not only with my grades, but just as a person.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be a student that the teachers know that not only I respect them, but they can respect me because like I'm a good student and I be respectful as I can at all times to them.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, Jeremiah, you're a you're a good kid, man. I love this interview already. I
Thank you.
love your mind, your attitude. You're very mature for your age. I'm gonna be very honest with you. You're very mature for your age. That's one thing I
Thank you.
really noticed just talking to you. So that's really gonna take you far, man. I'm really excited to see what you're gonna do in your future, because what you just said about how you want to be respectful for teachers and you want to have the respect from other people, I can already see that in the way you carry yourself, and you look like a true leader. And I'm not just saying that because we're interviewing. You look like a real leader, and I want you to continue to hone on to that, because not a lot of people have that. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of people have that
Yeah,
leadership ability, and you seem like you have that natural ability. So I want you to let that continue to grow in your life, because it looks like a lot of people will follow you and get on your train. So I really think that even when you're playing on your football team, a lot of people, you can put the team on your back. You look like the type of player to say, hey, give it to me, I don't care, I got the ball, we're going to win this game. You look like that type of player. So I'm really excited to see what you're going to do this season. So before you get out of here, give some shout outs to maybe some people, your friends, your mother, anybody like that, so they can see you on here and say, hey, that's my guy.
all right, yeah, for sure. So first of all, shout out to my moms, of course. Thank you, and I love you. Shout out to my football coach. airways. I'm excited to get things done this year. Shout out to all my teammates for sure. If y'all seeing this, we got it this year, and we just go show everyone who we are.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to show this. I'm bro. I'm trying to tell you, Jeremiah. I can't wait to watch you, dog. Like
Thank
when I showed them highlight. Oh, when I turned on your highlights, I was like, okay, now I see why he is first team. Bro, you got some wheels, man, and you got
you.
good athletic ability, good shiftiness. You play strong. I just like what you really bring to the table. I can't say it enough. I'm really excited to see what you're going to do. Only in
Thank
your sophomore season. That's
you.
wild. This big ups from me. So without further ado, we're not gonna hold everybody. We want to thank Jeremiah Davis for taking his time out. We on the late night tip. We was talking back and forth. I was doing the NFL draft for the Cowboys. I was jumping back and forth on my feed, and then I was like, my guy was like, he's like, let's talk about the 88th pick. I was like, hey, bro, I got to get off of here. I got to interview my guy, man. And we gonna I'll do this later. I got to interview my guy, and then maybe I'll jump back on later. And I'm glad I did because I love this interview, and I can't wait till we do another interview mid-season so we can
Sure.
see what you guys are looking like record-wise and what you're looking like on a personal tip stat-wise. So,
Mhm.
I want to. What was I going to say? Anything else? I think that's it.
Mhm.
Do you have? Oh, I want to ask you a few things since you're young.
Yeah.
Favorite rapper?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Oh, J Cole, J Cole for
J.
sure.
Cole. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
See, you must be mature because young kids don't say no J. Cole.
I know for real.
They
They
do
be
not
speaking
do.
random rappers,
Yeah, they be doing these weirdos. I'm like, who? Oh, come on, man. He don't got no lyrics. So for you to say that, that tells me about your maturity. Um, favorite TV show?
Martin, most definitely.
He
Mhm.
like Barton. Okay. I really like this kid now. Don't nobody know about Martin, and this young dude knows about Martin. We real cool now. You feel me? Um, so what's your what's your favorite genre? I know a lot of young kids listen to hip hop or anything like that, but do you have any other genre music you like to listen to maybe before a game, get you hyped or anything like that, or is it strictly kind of like the hip hop thing?
Oh nah, so I'm not the type of person when I'm lifting or even before a game to be listening to like rap and stuff and high music. I be listening to
Mhm.
R&B before each game and stuff. Anyone from like
He a
Usher,
lover. He's a
yeah.
lover.
Usher, I mean Usher, 112, listen, man. I mean, just all of that before games for sure. Yeah.
Hey, that's really dope. Like, I don't talk to a lot of kids that know about Boys the Men, 112. Like, bro, you got an old soul and a young body, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You talk, and that's good. Um, I can interview for you for an hour, bro. I just really like what you really bring to the table. I'm telling you, I really do.
Thank
I'm really excited to see what you're gonna do, man. So what we're gonna do is, as I said before, I already got like 3 interviews that were done, and we're gonna bundle those interviews out next week. We're gonna show your highlights. We're gonna show the interview, and I'm gonna push this on my Twitter, on my Big Game James Sports page, which is about 20K strong. My YouTube is about 12K strong. So we're gonna pump those videos out and try to even get you even more looks so people can know about who Jeremiah Davis is and what he brings to the table.
for
So
sure.
I do want to thank you for taking out your time. I know it was on the late night, but I'm glad we were able to talk back and forth and able to make this happen. I can't wait till we do our next interview so we can see what your team is doing and what you're doing individually. And all I can say is, man, I wish you the best of luck and let's make it happen. And I just, like I said, I can't wait to get our next interview to see what we're talking about, our stats and things of that nature. Now, one last thing. Did you happen to have your stats from last year? Did you keep track of your stats last year or no?
Oh yeah.
Tell me them.
So I finished with 1,457 kickoff return yards. With 9 kick return touchdowns, and then rushing, I think I had 1,032 or 22, and then 6 touchdowns on the ground. So I definitely had like a pretty good freshman season. I could have done better. I definitely missed some chances on some long runs and stuff, but nah, I think I had a pretty good season. Mm.
Well, your freshman season probably better than some people's seasons in their whole daggone career. You feel me? So
Yeah.
yeah, we're pretty excited about that. So without further ado, this is Big Game James. This is Jeremiah Davis. You better keep your eyes on this kid because he's about to be the who's who, and you heard it on here. So when you play back that tape and you be like, man, that Jeremiah Davis is nice. I'm like, yeah, he was on I interviewed him like 3 years ago. Yeah, he all right.
For sure. Thank you
All
for
right.
having
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're going to chat a little bit before we get off. I'm going to close the show and then we're going to chat a few things and I'm going to let you go. But for
me.
Big
For sure.
Game James, Jeremiah Davis, and Generation Next, the next who's who, keep your eye on this kid. He's about to be great. So without further ado, we'll talk to you soon.